In today's video, I'm going to bring you guys a list of the top games coming out in the month of March of 2022. As always, if you would like to support the channel, please consider purchasing your games over on the GOG store using my affiliate link below in the video description. Let's jump right in.
This city was doomed, with the seeds of evil sown long before it fell.
First up on today's list is a quick one because it's a DLC for the CRPG Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. This DLC is titled Inevitable Excess and will be releasing on March 3rd for PC. Do note that Wrath of the Righteous should still be coming out on consoles, but this has been delayed from March to sometime in fall of 2022. For those of you who do not know this game, Wrath of the Righteous is a single-player, isometric, party-based, real-time with pause, and turn-based RPG you can play in whichever combat style that you prefer, and it takes you on a long, epic journey to a realm overrun by demons. The DLC is a story DLC that's going to take you to the inevitable Excess on the plane of Axis, where you'll meet with the Keeper of Magic, and you'll also be revisiting some locations from the base game. If you bought the Season Pass for $28.99, this DLC should be included in that, but players should also be able to purchase it separately from the Season Pass, although the price is currently unknown.
Jax, you're back. Look, I know we've had our differences in the past, but there's a new threat to Magellan that could be the end of all of us.
Next up, we have a single-player, third-person, open-world RPG called Elex 2, and this game will be releasing on March 1st, coming out for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Elex 2 is a sequel to Piranha Bytes' original Elex, which came out in October of 2017. In this game, you'll be returning as the character Jax to the post-apocalyptic science fantasy world of Magellan, and you'll be working to unite the free people against a new threat called the Skylands. You will not only just be attempting to convince the various factions to unite against these invaders, but you'll also be searching for your missing son. Elex 2 will allow you to explore Magellan with unprecedented freedom, using your trusted jetpack to traverse the map. This world is full of unique NPCs who will have the ability to remember what your character has done and react accordingly. Some of these NPCs will be joining or leaving your group depending on your actions, and also note that you do have the freedom to kill them, which will of course have an effect on the story. The combat in this game features close and ranged mechanics, and the devs are saying that it has a massively improved control system when compared to the first game. So if you're ready to experience a story where your actions will have true consequences, get ready because Elex 2 is right around the corner.
Bullseye!
Our third game to also release on March 1st is a single-player, first-person action-adventure shooter game called Shadow Warrior 3. Shadow Warrior will be launching on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and the price on Steam is currently set at $49.99 US. In this game, you'll be embarking on an improbable mission to recapture an ancient dragon that you and your nemesis turned sidekick unwillingly unleashed from its eternal prison. You'll be trekking across a mythic Asian-inspired land infused with the magic and technology of ancient samurai. As you can see, the combat is quite crazy in this game, and it will feature a mix between overwhelming firepower and precise katana strikes. For movement, the game features air dashes, wall running, double jumps, and even grappling hooks. Each environment that you fight in will be lined with hazardous structures and devices that can be activated to add another layer of creative choice to your offensive strategy. This game seems to be a game for those of you who love fast-paced, hectic combat in a style that has some similarities to Doom Eternal.
Built over 1,000 years, it was meant to be a tower of dreams.
Up next, we have a game that I honestly hesitated to include on this list because I don't know how I feel about it, and that is the single and up to 4-player co-op third-person action RPG, Babylon's Fall. Babylon's Fall will be releasing on March 3rd for PC and PlayStation, and it has a hefty price tag of $59.99. Maybe there's something I'm missing here, but this one does worry me a little bit with a price tag like that, and the gameplay that we can see doesn't look that good. In this game, you'll be playing as a sentinel and doing something in a big-ass tower, reporting at its finest. You'll be able to choose from multiple playstyles, varied weapon types, and you'll be able to customize your loadout to wield up to 4 weapons at any time. The interesting thing about this game is that Square Enix and Platinum Games are the companies behind it, and both of those companies do have impressive games on their resumes. Just be wary of this one though. I'd probably recommend waiting for a few reviews to drop before making your purchase. I don't know, I don't like to give too much of my opinion during videos like this, but this one's looking a little shady. Moving into the second week of March, on March 8th we have a unique game that is a single-player exploration adventure game called Submerged Hidden Depths. Submerged Hidden Depths will be releasing on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and also on Google Stadia. This game offers a non-combat, relax-exploration adventure set in the sunken ruins of a beautiful world. You'll be taking on the role of Miku and Taku, one cursed with a mysterious power that she wants to use for good, the other determined to not let it tear them apart. As you can see, you'll be navigating tranquil blue waters and pounding whitecaps as you scout the city ruins for the seeds of its salvation. So yeah, those of you looking for a kick-it-back, relaxed, perhaps meditative adventure, this one might be right up your alley. Those of you that follow my channel will know of this game because I've covered it a few times in its early access stages. And this game is Black Geyser Couriers of Darkness. Black Geyser is a single-player isometric party-based real-time with pause CRPG that is having its official launch on March 17th for PC with a price of just $24.99. Compare that to Babylon's Fall. This game looks better than that. In this game, you'll be exploring a land plagued by war, pestilence, and mysterious abductions, and you'll be attempting to uncover the hidden legacy of your birth. As you can see, the game is inspired by some of the classic RPGs such as Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale, and this is evident while you play. In character creation, you'll choose from 5 races and 13 classes, all of which offer different playstyles, from your classic fighter to a magic slinging wizard. Max party size is 5, and to fill out your team, you'll be recruiting unique characters, all of which have their own backstories. CRPG lovers who are looking for a little nostalgia, this game might fill the void. Now on to the single and multiplayer third-person action RPG, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This game will be releasing on March 18th for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC on the Epic Games Store with a price tag of $59.99. On the Square Enix website, they describe this game as a story painted by layers of challenging action gameplay and intense combat. Battle punctuated by iconic actions from the Final Fantasy series, as well as dynamic weapon abilities. There will be various weapons such as greatswords, daggers, and spears, and these weapons will determine a character's job when equipped. You will be acquiring new abilities and jobs through a character enhancement system called the Job Tree. Like I mentioned before, the game does have multiplayer capabilities through its multiplayer mode, where you can experience co-op play in a group of up to 3. This mode will include the main story and side missions. For those of you wondering, this game is not a remake, nor is it a prequel to the original Final Fantasy game. It's a spin-off. Into the last week of March, starting with the single-player first-person action game called Ghostwire Tokyo. Ghostwire Tokyo will be releasing on March 25th for PC and PS5, and it has a current price tag of $59.99. In this game, Tokyo is overrun by deadly supernatural forces perpetuated by dangerous occultists, and this has caused Tokyo's population to vanish. You'll be teaming up with a powerful spectral entity to unravel the dark truth behind the disappearance. As you can see, players will be exploring this unique vision of Tokyo from its ultra-modern landscapes to its traditional temples. In terms of combat, you'll be wielding a combination of upgradable elemental powers and ghost hunting skills, and you'll be using your ethereal abilities to ascend to the top of Tokyo's skyline and get the drop on your enemies.
Darkness washes over the land. Dun dun dun.
Perhaps one of the most exciting releases in March is the upcoming single and multiplayer co-op first-person looter-slasher shooter Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands will be releasing on March 25th for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and it looks like it's going to be priced at $59.99 at least for consoles. As many of you have noticed, it does look a lot like Borderlands, and that is because it is a spin-off of the Borderlands series. This time around, Gearbox seems to have been inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, as Tiny Tina will be your disorderly guide in this game, or DM, through a tabletop realm where rules rarely apply. There will still of course be plenty of powerful guns, but now players will also have access to devastating spells and powerful melee attacks. You'll be customizing your character and choosing between 6 primary classes, and then later in the game all players get access to multi-classing. You can play the game solo, but most would probably argue that it's best to play in a party with up to 3 friends. This game is a fantasy looter game at its core.
Wake up, Knight. You must take up your arms again.
King Arthur Knight's Tale is a single-player tactical turn-based RPG that will be coming out of early access on March 29th for PC, and it should be coming to consoles at a later date. The current price tag is set at $44.99. You'll be taking on the role of Sir Mordred, a sworn enemy of King Arthur, and after a battle that left you and King Arthur dead, the Lady of the Lake resurrected you to save Camelot, or maybe you won't save Camelot. Why the Lady of the Lake chose you over Arthur is one of the great mysteries of this game. The decisions you make in this game will impact the story and also impact the different knights that choose to join your cause, or perhaps they choose to leave you. When setting out on a mission, you'll typically set out with a party of 4, and like I said before, the combat is turn-based. There are 6 classes in this game: Defender, Champion, Marksman, Vanguard, Arcanist, and Sage, and you'll be leveling them up, gaining unique skill points, and equipping the best items that you can find. Between missions, you'll have to be sure that Camelot has the right facilities for various aspects of the game, such as treating injuries, curses, and diseases. After you play through the campaign, you'll then unlock Endgame, which will bring on tough new challenges from mythic boss fights to random quests, and of course the pursuit for more and better loot.
Thing about the Weird West is, it ain't kind.
And the last game on this list is a single-player action RPG called Weird West. Weird West will be releasing on March 31st for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and it currently has a price tag of $39.99 on Steam. In this game, you'll be discovering a dark fantasy reimagining of the Wild West, where lawmen and gunslingers share the frontier with fantastical creatures. You will journey through the story of atypical heroes written into legend by the decisions that you make. Each journey will be unique and tailored to the actions taken, and you can form a posse or venture forth alone. And that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. For further discussions on these games, feel free to join the community Discord server. The link is below in the video description. It's completely free. I'll catch you guys on the next one.